So that's a beautiful angle on long hair. Now look how pretty that angle is. See how much softer that is? So now you know a couple different ways that you can make hair softer and really frame the face. Hi. So this is going to be actually so much fun today because we're going to do techniques that you're able to use on any kind of hair, whether it's short, medium, or long. Curly hair, straight hair. These are techniques that you're going to use and put in your toolbox that when you're struggling with something, think I could do it a straight line, I could do it a little soft, I could do it textured. So we're going to do bangs, angles, and lines. That means like the back, if we do it round, well, actually you could do it round, you could do it straight, or you could do it kind of on a V, depending on what it is someone wants or what you think would look good on them. And always remember to share what you think looks good on somebody else. We're basically their doctor. They trust you. When I first get to meet somebody, the first thing they say to me is, once I share and talk to them and have the consultation, they turn around and say, just do what you think, I trust you. So I have to think, what do I think looks good? And I always think of it like this. What would I like and what do I think would look good on me? So that's what I kind of tend to do on somebody else after I get to know them a little bit, to know if they like their hair the way my kind of hair is, then I'll do that. And if not, I'll kind of look at their clothes, what they're wearing, what kind of car they drive, what kind of pocketbook they have, how they do their makeup. And that will be a great thing for you to know how to do their hair. A more straight line is more for sophisticated people. Not always, but could be. So those are little things that you're gonna have to figure out and learn as you go along. So I'm gonna tell you, this is a severe part, okay? And this one right here, we'll call her Grace. See this cowlick here? A cowlick in somebody's hair is like this. If I pull this down tight, I'm gonna pull that. Now watch. If I let go and it pulls up like that by itself, that's called a cowlick. This one does not do that. So look, I'm gonna take her whole front hair and I'm gonna pull that tight and I'm gonna let it go, and it really doesn't bounce much at all. This one bounces up a lot more because this is called a cowlick. It's the way the hair grows out of the root. So we're gonna do bangs on her. See how hers is a pretty strong side part? So with someone like this, I'm gonna teach you different ways to do it. At first you do a long one. So you wet that hair. And really you can take a long triangle. You're gonna take this section first. Make sure you comb the hair the way the hair lives. Don't like try to pull it so much this way and then cut it. Like make sure you're combing it, but it's basically, you're not pulling it any certain way. It's the way it wants to go. And I love cutting bangs that way. I think it's awesome and fun to kind of do it to the way their hair is. So I am gonna take this scissor, this is a long one, and I'm just gonna etch it out ever so slightly going down. Okay? And so this will be a nice feather in her hair if somebody wants long hair. Now, this is gonna be for people that work out a lot. That's a big one. People are like, I don't want bang, I can't put my hair back, because they're big worker-outers or yoga people. So remember, you have to make sure that this piece could get in a ponytail. All right, so that will be your measure of how to know how much to cut off or not. So you could do a little bit more if you wanted to. You just take the same section again, and you can comb this out of the way. It doesn't ever have to be exact. You could have it close to. So you can come up a little higher if you want. A little more, a little more, a little more. And this will be so beautiful when you blow dry that. That's one way. Now, what you would do though is connect a little piece to this side. And always remember, I'm gonna take that angle pretty steep because you just want a little something. It could be cut off, but to make it like softer and more balanced, you wanna try to like take this piece right here, blend it here, and just cut it out a little so you have a little something on this side. This has lesser hair anyway, so you don't have to do a lot to that side. So now I'm gonna take this section over here. You can put the rest of this behind the ear or clip it. I'm gonna take my fingers, okay? And I'm gonna actually grab it this way. Now this is the piece that goes this way. I'm gonna take it though, right after, and I'm gonna come down with it. Ever so slightly. And then I could take a little bit more if I wanted to. Remember, it depends on what you're looking for. If they want a little bit more of an angle, this is just if they want a side bang, a long side bang. And this will be if they want to put the angles too with it. You're gonna basically put it on a line. So always remember something. When you grab hair, you could grab that hair, but you could pick it up and do whatever you want with it. But you just have to remember the angle that you have it on. The steeper you go with the angle, the more length that she could have. Where I'm gonna show you with this, that angle is gonna be much steeper. You'll take this one and you're gonna come way down. Actually, you're gonna cross over and you're gonna have that hair come this way, and then you could actually cut it up going that way. So remember, when you're looking at something, you wanna find out, does she want length? If she wants the length, you'll start here and you'll work your way up that hair, straight up. And then you'll take the next section, you'll connect wherever it was cut off here, and you're just gonna work your way up, which I'll show you, but I just wanna teach you real quick now on longer hair. You know, just imagine an imaginary line, and you'll see it's gonna come down beautiful all the way down to the length, and you won't compromise the length. A lot of people that have long hair, the first thing you say is, I don't want my hair short, nor do I want a lot of layers because it makes my hair shorter. That's not always true. Remember, as long as you start it from the bottom and work your way up, you could still have beautiful angles too. All right, so we'll finish this one. Now remember, I'm gonna grab this. I'm gonna actually come this way because this is getting down to her length, and I wanna cut that off. See how you just have a nice straight line. And if it's too thick, if you see a little thick section here, just cut into it a little bit. See, I'm cutting straight on. Don't take a big section out. You could if it's too thick, but her hair is not too thick. So I'm just gonna come in and cut a little piece right inside there. And make sure you grab the whole next section, making sure that it has balance. So I want this to be a little bit more right here. So you could just cut into it if you want, or you can make a straight line and cut into it after. A lot of times I like to take shortcuts. I can already see the imaginary line, so I just go right for it. So when you get more experience, you don't necessarily have to cut the line first and then texture it. You could just go in and texture it and make a line as well. So, yep. And then you'll have this beautiful, beautiful angle. Get that little bottom part. It's so fun to just play and try different things with a mannequin head. You can't go wrong. That's the best part about a mannequin head. You know, you could do anything you want. You can make the mistakes on here because then you'll improve and you'll learn what not to do. So, remember, I'm gonna bring this over. I wanna say it's almost like a C. Or like, you could make it like a side C or like a dome. You know, remember, it should come like this. The longer the hair, then the longer the dome should go. Because that means you're gonna pull it here, 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 depending on the length of the hair. So this side too, I wanna kind of bring it down. I wanna cut these little pieces off, and it will change when you're doing it different. Your scissors gonna change, your arm position's gonna change because you're doing a different side. And when you get down here too, make sure, listen, you can always do more. Don't just cut a big piece if you're not quite sure. But you're starting to see the line, right? Watch, when I take the next section up, see that line? I'm just gonna cut it and make it a little bit better. And you're not really gonna connect this. This is the piece that really is gonna be separate a little. This is where you started, but this is gonna really take from here, and all this should connect, okay? This is just gonna be a little extra spot because her hair is heaviest right here, and you're not gonna connect it to here because there's less hair here. So if you took this out of the way, you could see if these two pieces are the same length. Always remember, this is your extra piece when somebody wears a side part. If it's in the middle, then they should be exactly the same. Okay, so that's that. Let's see how pretty it's drying. Instantly, it has this beautiful angle here. And I will do the same thing here too. Okay, so that's one way. I wanna show you the same thing on Grace. Now remember, she's got a calic. A calic, when you're dealing with a calic, be very careful, okay? Because that calic wants to spring up. So if you pull that hair down too much, too tight, it's gonna pop up and be shorter than you really wanted it. So you use less tension. You're gonna almost like let that, I'm not pulling that hair tight. I'm just nice and gently moving my fingers down, making sure it's like kind of loose. It's important. And she's kind of in the middle. So you could kind of do this one in the middle so you know what it'll be, and it'll be even on both sides. So you could start one side first. If you want to get clips, you can get clips. And you're going to do it from behind the ear. So you can grab this whole section. Clip that out of the way, and then you're gonna clip this out of the way. Okay, now I'm gonna start at the bottom and work my way up. I wanna give her a nice, perfect angle. But remember, long hair, you could still do it. Just start at the bottom. Remember, I'm gonna cross over and I'm gonna pull that hair down, go to the very bottom, and I'm gonna start making the line. I'm gonna come all the way up, and I'm not putting a lot of tension on. Always remember, not a lot of tension. See how nice she's got a little bit of wave in her hair? And this, what you could do, say if it's not doing it enough, if it's not enough angle, you can come in here and you could ever so slightly just make it yourself. Just to make sure that that angle is just really soft and beautiful. Now you're gonna blend it. You're gonna take a little piece from your right side to your left. Okay, now you're gonna come up the same place that this was, and you're gonna ever so slightly just open those scissors a little bit. And all I'm doing is this, watch. You go like this, okay? Little baby piece, you're just going down the hair like this with your finger. Thumb only is moving, thumb. Just a little bit. So that's what I'm doing. So this way, if you're wondering, you'll know. Now you could take it this way too. So this is gonna be a little different because you're on the other side. So I'm gonna go this way. I'm gonna step over, I'm gonna pull this hair over, so you're gonna actually have to go down. So you're gonna actually, see, I still have a straight line there. I'm not putting a lot of tension on there. You're starting to see how pretty it is. And you always make sure you match. You grab both pieces and check it. Okay, this side's a little longer, so I'm gonna come here, gonna go back over it. I'm just gonna cut that. Now, you're gonna check it again. Grab the same two pieces. Check it. It should be exactly the same, okay? Even take a piece in the middle. Check it. Should be exactly the same. I think this side I need to do a little bit more. I'm gonna come over here, and I think it just has to be cut into a little bit, and that's what you're gonna have to figure out. Like, just look at it. And as long as it's balanced, it doesn't have to be perfect, just a beautiful balance. And then you're gonna check these two for sure. This one has to be more, because I didn't get to the top yet. But I'm gonna come down this way. And you just skim it ever so slightly. Remember, just that little bit. See, now it's looking really nice and balanced and even. Remember, check it. Don't pull it really hard. If you pull one side really hard, the other side, this one needs a tiny, tiny bit more. You can always take more. So just do little at a time. Good. Good, this side just a little. And remember, you could just cut into it a little bit if you want. Okay, so that's a beautiful angle on long hair. Yep. So that'll be that. Now I'm gonna teach you bangs. We're gonna go just shorter with her angle. Okay, so I am going to teach you a razor bang. This is really fun too. And I want you to remember, whether you use a scissor, a razor, even a thinning shear you could do with a side bang, depending on what softness you want for the ends of the hair. So now we're gonna go shorter, and it's gonna be a nice, thicker side bang, but with a little texture. If you want the thickest side bang, you're gonna do a straight scissor. If you want it softer, you're gonna do a razor. If you want it really soft, you're gonna do a thinning shear, because they'll just do the end super soft. So we'll just go this way now. And I'm cutting it just the way I want it to fall. I want you to notice this. This is the hair that I took off. See how nice and soft and etched it is? That is a soft razored look. Always make sure you have a new razor for every single haircut and or bang. Doesn't matter, it's just like a clean knife. You won't get any frayed pieces. A lot of times people go, oh, I don't want a razor. It frays my hair, it does this. Well, that meant that somebody did their hair with maybe using that blade 3-4 times. It should never. A new blade every haircut. Okay, so look how pretty already with the angle that we did to go shorter around that bang, right? So when she pushes this back, it could really be a beautiful side bang. You start to see it flow around her face, right? Now, you're gonna also take the section over here to your right, and I'm gonna connect this. So this is gonna be a little tricky because you're gonna take that first piece right there. And remember, you're just etching it out. Now you could use the tip of the razor, where before I used the middle, and there's 3 different spots you could use on a razor: at the bottom, in the middle, and at the top. So here, I'm gonna use the top, and I'm gonna kind of do the same motions. So this way, you could already see it forming how pretty these pieces are gonna be around her face. So this is like for people that love softness. If someone has a rounder face, you wanna do something that's softer around the face. It'll make their face look thinner. If somebody has a tiny face, you probably wanna like move this away from their face. You wanna have this like out so that it shows their tiny little face, and you wanna broaden that. You almost would wanna push this back and actually feather this whole thing back if they had a tiny face. You know, you could definitely have beautiful curls that will just curl here on somebody with a tiny face. It'll bring her face out more. But otherwise, somebody with a fuller face, you could actually leave these pieces on and it'll look so beautiful. It'll totally bring like the best out of them because they'll feel better too. When you have a little weight on you, sometimes it's hard, or if they have a round face, people struggle with that. Okay, so I wanna show you something too. Now, if it's too thick, what you could do is you could cut into that bang. Okay, I like to do this. I like to hold it like a pen, and I'm just gonna ever so slightly skim little pieces. See, this is how you know what I took out. I'm just skimming the hair inside. If it's too thick, like right here, I feel like it's too dense. Here's nice now because I just took that out. Now we're gonna take it out here. Just come in and skim that hair. Look, I took a little tiny piece out. And you'll start to see it'll be more piecey and it will actually move better. When hair is too thick and it's like all together, if you put down a piece here and down a piece here, these pieces can move. So even when you're thinning out hair, like let's say from the top of somebody's hair, you know what we're gonna do right here. So actually, this is the heaviest spot of anybody's hair right here. So if you want to get in there too, you could do the same thing with a razor, what you do to the front, you could do with a section here. You could take a section and you're gonna do the same thing. You're just gonna go in there and you're gonna cut a little pieces out. Cut little tiny pieces out. You're skimming. You're skimming because it's too thick and too dense. A lot of people say, oh, it's just too thick here. Just remember, you could do that and you could soften this so this way it falls better here. It's not gonna be a layer. It's gonna look like a hidden layer. You actually won't know where it's coming from, but the hair will be able to move better. Now I wanna teach you what it looks like with a thinning shear. So what you're gonna do is take the same angle, right? But now you're gonna come in on that angle and you're gonna come up and you're just gonna really shatter those ends. And all these little things really do make a difference. See how it's thicker right here too? So just kind of come up there. The ends are gonna be thinner. And right here, I feel like it's thick right here, so I'm gonna take these, I'm just gonna pull. These are the awesome little tricks. I think sometimes the front of people's hair is the hardest to do. I notice even blow drying, my girls can struggle with the fronts. So these are the tricks I'm gonna teach you that you'll have for a lifetime. Remember, you could use it short, medium, long hair. Now I feel like it's thick right here too. I'm gonna come in, I'm gonna take that, I'm gonna angle. And now I wanna just texturize those ends even a little more. You can come up this way, you see the line? And you just kind of keep doing it until it's like right where you want it. Like that piece right there, there we go. So I was trying to get, see how much softer that bang is? And that I feel is enough. Even like right here, it's a little thick. You could see that too. So you just take a little piece out there. Remember, you don't have to do tons of it. Less is better, but do something though if you feel like it doesn't look just perfect or just like good enough. You know, if you know that you could do it a little bit better. See right here, remember, you're just cutting it until you get that line. See how soft it makes those ends? I love to cut hair and look at it and see like what it's doing. Is it falling right? Make sure after you cut it, you look at it. Check it. Does it look right? If not, go back in, fix it. Do something else to it, whether it's a razor or a thinning shear. And if people are afraid of it, then do it with a scissor. Now look how pretty that angle is. See how much softer that is? So now you know a couple different ways that you can make hair softer and really frame the face. This would be called a face frame with a medium bang.